Otherwise, we're going to stand or sit in our mountain pose, and we're going to close eyes and just take a scan of your body, starting with those feet. Can you feel each of your 10 toes present on the earth? Your feet, what part of your feet connect to the earth, to your mat, to the ground? Feel the four corners, especially pressing in, the two at the back of the heel and the two towards the front ball of the foot. Pressing down through the heels and any other part that's connecting to the earth. Send that energy up now through your ankles, in through your calves. Find them on your knees. Pull up on those knees just a little bit and bring that energy into your quadriceps all the time here. Now we're focused on different aspects of the body. Bring in your breath slowly and deeply. Your hips, really crucial point here to maintaining the body, either seated or standing. And then hands on your belly, whether you're standing or seated, and let's feel that air expand in to the bellies and then pull back in towards your spine. Maintaining a nice long spine. Even though the belly is expanding and contracting, feel that all the way into ribs, up into your chest. Feel the clavicles expanding as well as you breathe. Let your hands come back to your lap or hanging left and right. Feel your shoulders melting down away from your ears. Feel the crown of your head seeking the heavens, pulling up through your cervical spine. Your arms are relaxed down at your side, but not totally. We'll still have the fingers active, so you can feel that prana, feel that energy that's developing just in mountain pose. Let's take 4 slow, full breaths at your own pace, but making them as deep and long as you are able to. Feeling that belly expand and contract one more time. And then slowly opening up those eyes and just finding that focus, finding that gaze, your drishti, whatever point that might be, because we're going to begin to rock a bit by lifting up on our heels and then coming back. So up to the balls of the feet, seated or on your feet on the earth, finding some strengthening here and lengthening of the calf. If you're seated, you should be towards the front of your seat for this. And standing, we're going to feel our whole bodies lifting up and slowly bring it down. That's where the work is, slowly coming down. Finding yourself as high as you can, and maybe you want to hold there a bit and see where your balance is today. Or if you're in the chair, you're holding just to accentuate the muscles in your legs. So go back and forth a few more times. Your own rhythm, your own strength and length, your own beauty. And then finding our feet flat and on the ground. Let's begin working with our neck here. Taking our chin towards our chest, and that's an exhale. Slowly bringing it up and letting it rise at an angle upward. Inhale. Shoulders pull down. Keep going. Exhale. Let it all out. Take it up with your breath. Gaze going only far back as your neck feels comfortable doing. Remember your body, your practice, your precious body, your smart practice. One more time, let's let our chin come towards our chest. And then take that chin like you're drawing a line over to one of your shoulders. That's the other comment I received, which is a really good one. And let it come back forward. I'm going to try and then let it go to the other shoulder. To not use left and right as much. Keep going. Lifting when you reach one shoulder. Letting it all hang in the center. Because I realize that when you're looking at me, if I say left, it might look like I'm doing my right, and that can be confusing. So as much as I can, I'll try to stay away from that. But if I do, and you're at the other, just make sure we complete both sides equally. Coming back to the center, slowly begin to lift that chin back up so that it's neutral, parallel to the ground. And let's take our ear on one side towards that shoulder. Same shoulder, same ear. Take a breath here to extend the opposite arm out and bring it all the way up so that the arm lengthens up, the other one lengthens down. We keep taking that ear over. Not taking it into our waist yet, just letting the neck feel released to that side. And then let your hand come down first. And then slowly, maybe with the aid of that other hand, lifting your head back on straight. Let that opposite hand come down. And then taking your ear towards the other shoulder. Feel how that pulls right in there. Take your energy down in that arm. Both arms, fingers open up wide. Breathing here as you relax into that side neck stretch. Lifting up that arm really high. The opposite arm to the direction your head is going. Trying not to let the waist go. Mine was starting to go. Just letting the neck go. Pulling down with fingers reaching towards the earth. Pulling up with the others. Fingers expanded wide. Breathing here. Inhale, lengthen that side body. Exhale, take that arm down. And your other hand comes to assist the neck coming back into neutral. And then we're going to go and work our shoulders. Let's pull the shoulders forward and up. Those that are standing can begin to do a little bit of knee bends as well. If you're in the chair, just work your shoulders. You can stand up for any of these that you feel comfortable with. But moving the knees just helps to coordinate the body a bit here. And then let's reverse, pulling forward, bringing it down. My arms are just hanging heavy when I do this. Let's do one more set here. And down. Coming back up into your mountain pose. Let's squeeze. Squeeze both shoulders up to your ears as tight as possible. Feel that connection in your trapezius muscle. Squeezing, extend through your fingers outward as you squeeze up. Squeeze and an inhale. Exhale, blow it out. Let the shoulders fall as far away from your ears as possible now. Let's do that again. Begin that squeeze. Shoulders rising up. Maintaining a good strong core here too as we squeeze and squeeze. Arms are strong, fingers engaged, squeezing up, inhale. Let it go. Exhale, releasing. Let's take the left shoulder and move that back and the right shoulder forward. And let's see how coordinated we are with this little groove here. One shoulder forward, the other one back. And let your hands come up, following the outline of your body. And let's reverse that. Continue to check in with your breath as you're doing this nice shoulder opening and work here for the rest of our practice. One more round. And releasing. Let's go ahead if you're standing and just walk out the knees a bit. You can do that seated as well and just move back and forth a bit. If you're standing, let that movement come into your hips, come into those really loose shoulders, come into that really loose neck, and just let yourself go. See, you guys can all see me being all loose and silly, and you're probably in your own space and nobody's seeing you except for those people that are zooming you. And then coming back to stillness here. Let's bend into our knees if you're standing. If not, and you're in the chair, great. Just raise your arms up, coming into an up salute here. This is an upward salute, whether you're seated or standing. Fingers open up wide. Feel that length on both sides of the body. Inhale, see if your fingers come up a little bit higher. And then let's exhale. Take your one arm down and the other one over, pressing out with your hip. Lengthening that side body with every breath. Coming deeper and longer. Settling in here a bit. Feel pulling in at your navel point. Lifting up slowly out of that. Both arms rise up, upward salute here. Lengthen with an inhale. Exhale, the opposite hand comes down. Let's come on over. Let that hip jut outward as one hand climbs down and the other one comes over, pulling back on the upper shoulder. Letting yourself just go here. Finding breath in belly. And slowly bringing yourself back up. Both arms up. And now we're going to interlace our fingers. Pay attention to what thumb is on top. And then release your index finger. Temple Mudra, this is called, when we have the index finger released. Come on back up. So you're making a dunce cap or a triangle on the top of your heads. You're squeezing as much as you can your biceps and your ears together. Maintaining that length. Take your hips to one side as the upper body goes to the opposite side. And we're breathing here. Finding depth on your exhales. Length on the inhale. Pulling in. Be strong in your core. Slowly come out of that. You don't ever want to release or go into anything really quickly. Lengthen that side body, yes. And come to the opposite side. Press in to the foot that is on the opposite side of the direction you're going, especially because it's going to want to kind of leave the earth a bit. Press down. Seated or standing. You can do this both ways. Pulling back on that upper shoulder. Tucking in the lower shoulder. Lengthen, inhale. Exhale down. Pull in at the navel slowly. methodically coming back up, lengthen, exhale. Let's release our arms slowly down and let them find a little bit of release and gravity here. Letting the fingers really feel activated. You're standing, a little bit of cha-cha with the knees. And then bending in the knees if you're standing, let's come back up and interlace with the opposite thumb on top now, the one that doesn't feel as comfortable. And find that temple mudra again. Bring your hands up, find that squeeze, and let's take it over to one side. This time we're going to do it with our breath dynamically. This is your exhale. Come up with an in. Take it over with your X. Pulling in slowly, coming up with your in. And keep flowing here. The first one we did statically to really get a feel for what that was going to be like as we do this half moon. This one is with breath, dynamic. But remember, your breaths are slow, so our movements are slow. One more set. Bringing ourselves up. Release. Hands come down. Slowly. Letting those hands come down. Good. Walking out knees a bit. Let's go ahead and take our elbows together and our hands together. But your elbows are away from your chest. And we're going to do some circles here. Lifting hands up high. Bringing the elbow points down. Working the shoulders again a bit, but also pressing our hands together. Pressing our forearms together. So you're going to feel that resistance and reverse coming in the opposite way. Really pressing hard here. Press together. One more time. And coming back. And let's release down. Back in mountain. Taking those legs and just moving them a bit. Whether you're seated or standing. If you're seated, just go like this a bit. In fact, let's all do that. Seated or standing, let's just begin to activate a little bit more in the legs. Kind of this marching position. And also balance, right? Because when you're doing this, standing on one foot for a bit. So now, keep going or begin to lift it up. Let it stay up a little bit longer. And you do that according to your balance. Your knee will lift according to your height. You'll hold it in place as long as you would like. And let's just find where our own bodies are, our own legs in space, are balancing. How are we doing today with that? We'll do some balance work today as well. If you're seated in the chair, you're doing the same thing. You're lifting up your legs, taking and placing one foot down and maybe lifting the other. And guess what? We're working on our core as well. A few more times, heating up our space. Hot yoga today. Good. And then moving those legs a bit. This time, we're still going to take that same type of action, but instead of the knees being neutrally forward, we're going to take them to the side. We're going to open up our hips. Your hands can come here. They can stay long. They can help and assist you lifting up. If you're seated in the chair, come towards the front of that chair and open up your legs wide and begin to lift them up back and forth. This will help us when we come into Goddess today. Get our hips open. Nice and movable, flexible. And again, take your time. You want to lift it up and hold. Take it and lift it up and hold. Feeling that in the glutes also. Okay, so do what feels right. And let's take it to stillness. And then move the knees a bit. If you're out in the chair, you can still be doing that, moving here. We're coming back into mountain pose. We're going to do now an internal rotation for the hip. So you may want to stay with your foot totally planted, and you're just going to do this. My foot is on the ground, but I'm coming in and out with my hip, right? Or you can take your foot off the ground and move it around. Maybe taking the toe to the ground when you finish one rotation, or maybe you're able to maintain that foot off the ground through the entire rotation. All right, so you've got all those variables from foot connected to the ground, seated in the chair, standing and moving with balance on one leg. Let's place that foot down. We're going to go in the opposite way now. So I was just going this way, counterclockwise. Now I'm going to go clockwise. And again, you can do that with your foot planted, and you're just moving the hip. All right. So find where you are. Where that toe can touch ground in between. You can have a chair to hold on to the side. Working to open up our hips. Happy hips. There we go. And then move a bit. One side's going to feel really looser and more active than the other. So we will pair them so that they can both feel equally the same. So we did this, I think, with both legs. So now we're going to go ahead and begin that rotation with the hip. Again, foot planted or lifted completely off the ground. Your hands wherever you need. Maybe if they're on a chair to assist with your balance here. And you can feel what that's like to maintain your foot off the ground. And is your foot flexed or pointed? Have it be active. Okay. And let's put that foot down, walk it out, and then we're going to reverse whatever direction you just did. Just take it in the opposite and moving it around. Good. Doing a lot of opening of joints today, right? From the neck, working down here. And placing that foot down. Walking it out, feeling warmth now throughout the body. And now one set of joints, 4 sets actually, that we haven't worked yet too much, are ankles and wrists. So let's take our wrists and let's pretend that we are flamenco dancers. And let's take our wrists and turn them like this, but use our fingers as well, as if we are digging into dough and we are making bread. Mark just made bread for us today. And he had to do this for the prep part last night and today. And let's find our arms up, still working our fingers, our hands. Let's reverse, going in the opposite way. Little by little. Coming back down. Arms should feel a little bit tired. Hands might as well. Really good for staying away from arthritis by continuing to move our joints. And let's shake those hands out. Holding on to a chair or finding your balance, taking the ankle and rotating it. Either foot. You may be hearing a few clicks. And reverse, going the opposite way. Good for you. And place that foot down and take weight. Lift the other one. And let's begin turns there. And we'll begin to move out of this mountain pose and opening up all our joints here just a bit. Go ahead and turn back in the opposite way. But I don't know about you, but I'm already sweating a little bit. And placing that foot down, walk out a bit. And let's begin to move in and out of some positions here. So we're going to begin with some goddess poses and chair pose. So you're seated in the chair, you're fine to go where we are. If you are standing, what we're going to begin with is chair pose. So you'll be going like this, seated in the chair, your arms will come up, or you can get out of the chair if you like. And then we're going to lift up, inhale. And then the next time we come, we're going to step out to one side and we're going to exhale down into goddess pose. Okay? So if you're seated in the chair, open up wide here. Then we take ourselves back up, inhale, lengthen. And exhale to the opposite side. Forgot my chair in there. Chair this next time. Inhale back. Exhale, chair. Rise up in. Take it to one side. Come on down. Good. Raise up. Chair. Think you got it now. Inhale, we lift. Back into upward salute. Come back to one side. Goddess, pulling out those knees and opening up the hips. And then bringing yourself back. Upward salute. And chair. Upward salute. And goddess. Pull shoulders back. Knees back. And down. Rise up. Take it out. Gonna change it up just a bit here. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, chair, hands come forward. Push your tailbone back. Open up your fingers wide. Inhale up. Exhale, stepping out or bringing your knees open. Legs open if you're in the chair. Bring yourself up. Chair. Rise up. Come on. Inhale up. Exhale, chair. Guys, this is great. It's a lot of leg work here. Really good for our glutes, our quads, and chair. One more to this other side. Before we change it up again. Bringing ourselves up. This time, chair, exhale, arms in plane. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, come on over. And this is your breath. So I might be going too fast or too slow for you. Please take this in your fashion, matching your breath. And if it becomes a lot, then just rest. Rest in mountain. One more time to this side before we change it up again. Inhale, upward salute. Exhale, hands to heart. Chair and twist. One direction. Look back and center. Twist to the other direction. Inhale, back up. Upward salute. Exhale. Goddess. Inhale, rising. Exhale. Inhale takes you forward. Exhale, twist you in the opposite way. Inhale back and lift. Upward salute. Exhale out. Goddess. You in the chairs are able to do this just as well as we are. Those standing, those seated. We're following our breath. We're working our bodies. One more set here, up, down, over, centered, over, centered, up, and take it over. Bring yourself back. Exhale slowly down. Hopefully your heart got going there a bit. Your legs feel really warm. Maybe just moving a bit in and out of your mountain here. And taking a couple breaths. So that we don't just stop from movement right away. Let's do a simple rocking chair, standing or seated. Your arms are going to come up, and then you rock forward. If you're in the chair, you just bend over, chest on thighs, arms go back, and then lift yourself up. Keep going. Your breath. I'm wondering what kind of music each of you are playing. So if you missed that announcement earlier, keep going here. We're each going to play our own music, since you all are muted. And then I will just leave mine silent. Let's do 2 more rocking chairs. Rising up. Exhale, hands to heart, Anjali Mudra here. And breathing. Let's do some heart opening here. Go ahead and interlace your fingers, the base of your spine. I'm going to push down, and our shoulders should be really open and activated for this. Our chest opens up wide here. And you can do this seated too. Just scoot to the front of your chair and maintain this, squeezing the shoulders for a couple breaths before we move any further here. So you're really planted with feet solidly on the ground, and your shoulders squeeze back a little bit more, only to the place that feels right for your shoulders, okay? All of our shoulders speak to us in different ways. Then we're going to bend into our knees, and you're already bent if you're in the chair. And then you're going to curl in and tuck and round and bring those arms over if your shoulders allow. Opening up the back, lower back of your spine. Pull in with your navel right now. Make yourself strong in your lower abdomen, because we have our head lower than our heart. We're in an inversion. Keep a solid core. And then slowly begin to pull in on that core as you bring yourself up back into a regular seated or standing mountain pose. Release your hands and breathe. Good. Let's do another one, and we'll do standing camel. Take your hands and place them right here on the base of your spine, fingers down, kind of the top of your hips. And we'll take weight evenly into our feet that are right parallel to one another. Pull the shoulders back, pull the elbows back. Stand here for a couple breaths. And then we're going to go ahead and begin to bring the hips forward. Gentle pressing with our hands, palms into our hips, to our glutes. Let your heart rise up. Continue pulling back with your shoulders, only looking back as far as your gaze will gently be for your neck. Breathing here. Pull in tightly with your belly. and support your hips and spine. Lift yourself back up. Exhale, release your hands. Move out those knees again, those that are standing or seated. Just continuing to let them know that you know they're there and you support what they're doing. I said earlier that I was having a little twinge in one of my knees. It's actually not hurting me right now, so glad for that. We're going to go into a eagle pose. So working on balance, if that's where you're at today, but also assisting our body to utilize these nice open joints that we've created today. So bend into your knees. If you're already seated, no need to rise up. Inhale to that upward salute, and then exhale. Let's take the right under the left and bring your hands to shoulders or forearms and palms together. Let's make circles with those elbow points of ours and reversing. Everything should feel really open right now. And then inhale, lifting. Before we take it into balance, we're going to exhale down, taking our elbows towards one of the outside of our knees. And then inhale, bring ourselves up. And then exhale to the outside of the opposite knee into a little twist, looking over to that side. Continue, inhaling, lifting, coming on down and take that twist, bringing yourself up and taking yourself down. If you're in the chair, you're just staying seated in the chair and you continue to lift your arms up and come over to one knee, just like we are. And then find yourself back in either seated or standing with your Virasana arms. Bend into the knees if you're standing. And now we're going to either work with our quadriceps and bounce here just a bit. If you're in the chair, bring your weight forward and do something to activate your legs, maybe lifting up and down on the balls of your feet. And then coming to stillness, we're going to take weight into one, let's say, I think I said right and left foot. And let's pick up the opposite foot and play with it like we did earlier. If you're in the chair, you can go ahead and begin and cross over one leg over the other or at the ankle. And let's squeeze wherever you are, practicing that one foot lifting off the ground, squeezing legs together in the chair, squeezing legs together standing. Really squeeze everything into the center and then place one foot down, rise up. Elbows lift, release, come on up, inhale. And exhale, left under right. And I am using directional here because of the way we do the upper body and the lower body. And here, rise up, inhale. Take it on down as low as you can. 3 more times. And then finding yourself centered here. Let's come on down and let's do those little bitty squats, bounces. If you want, you can see if you can come onto the balls of your feet and bounce a bit. Almost coming as if we were into a yoga ball here. Working on our balance, bouncing and balancing. And then coming with feet flat. And we're going to now take weight into the right foot and let the left one start to lift up and down. Or taking it over and crossing. Finding a wall to help you with balance. It's hard to work with a chair here because we have our hands crossed, but you can be up against the wall looking at it. And that means if you lean forward, the wall will catch you. or you can have the wall behind you, but if you fall backwards, not forwards. Know where that wall is, know where your support system is always, right? Who are our support system right now? And then release that foot down and rise up, inhale. Exhale, arms down, lift up. And exhale, let's take it down slowly. Find mountain. I don't know if you guys can see, but I'm dripping sweat here. Don't know if it's just this room, or it's what we're doing, or just me. It feels good. I like it. It's the first time I've had a really good sweat in a while. So, a few breaths here. And then let's do a simple little flow. Arms lift, inhale. Exhale, try to pull yourself forward. Inhale up. Exhale, pull in at your navel. Take arms out, just come halfway down. Same thing if you're in the chair. Inhale, lift. Exhale, try it. Heart lifts. Bring it up with your up breath. Exhale, half. Pushing back with that tailbone, having your back nice and flat. Solid here in the core. Lift up on an in-breath. Take it on down and back. Rise up. Take it forward. Send your energy up. Send it out. Bring it up. And take it down, and let's stay here in this flat spine. If you have a block, this would be a good place to get one, or something that you can support yourself. If you're in the chair, just have yourself supporting yourself, chest on your thighs. And now we're going to take one arm to the ground. If it doesn't go to the ground, that's where that block helps, or take it to your leg. Take it to the opposite leg, but not the knee, okay? So either fingers on the ground or on one of your legs, but not the knee. And then let that other hand lift up and come into a twist. If you have that block, a great thing to have. And I know that we don't all have blocks, but find where you're able to hear. This is also a really good one for a chair. So you can be doing this seated in the chair, one hand down, one hand up. Do it standing with one hand on the chair, seat, and one hand up. And then bring your body back towards the mat, both hands to your shins or to the ground in a half lift, or your arms can come out to the sides. Your back is flat. Then you're taking the opposite hand down, and the other one is coming up. And again, that hand might be on one of your legs. And you may just have that elbow bent instead of the arm completely extended. Find what feels right for you. But find the twist nonetheless. That's the key here, is coming into a twist. An extension of the back side of the legs and the back of the spine. Bring your body weight forward, arms come out, pulling at the navel. Slowly bring yourself back up and let your arms come down. We're going to do a standing cat and cow. I'm going to turn myself this way. If you're seated in the chair, you do your cat and cow seated. So I love about cat and cow, it's really versatile. We'll do it kneeling as well here in a bit. And those in the chair will just repeat again, cat and cow. So let's go ahead and see this curve in my spine as I look up. That's an in-breath. And then exhale, I'm pulling in right here at my core. My hands slide down, my shins, I curl and I tuck and I round into myself as I exhale. Inhale, bring it on up. Pull the shoulders down. Exhale, keep going. You might find yourself curling and tucking and rounding. A little bit more each time. We're opening up through the front side of the body. More each time. Let's do 2 more sets. Hanging here, releasing, slowly coming up, ragdoll status, vertebrae by vertebrae. Same thing if you're seated in the chair. Coming up, finding your seated or your standing mountain. One more time here. Finding breath. And if you're in the chair, just remain seated in the chair. The rest of us can come towards the earth. And let's find ourselves on hands and knees. And a great place to have a blanket. If you're seated in the chair, just stay in your mountain pose for now, because we're going to repeat a cat and cow again. Maybe you change up your cat-cow a bit in your seated position. So everybody have themselves on the ground or stay in a chair. And let's do cat and cow again, just because it feels so good and it's so healthy for us. Releasing spine down, elbow lifts, inhale up. And then exhale, curl and tuck and round into yourself. Inhale, lifting. Exhale. Your breath, keep going. Going to the rhythm of your breath. The rhythm of your music that you have played. Marching to the beat of your drum. One more time. And then coming into a seated position. If you're on the chair, this would be a good time to bring that other chair close by in front of you. If we are on the ground, we're finding our tailbone planted. And we're coming into a diamond shape here. So this is where that other chair will help. You'll put your feet together, soles of the feet together, as we have seated on the ground. You've got a nice diamond shape here that you formed. And most importantly, you're finding your sits bones squarely grounded there. And your back is nice and flat, straight, coming up through the crown towards the sky and the tailbone towards the earth. And this takes core strength right in through here. Otherwise, I begin to start to come and lower myself and my shoulders come forward. So pull in here, lift up strongly, okay? And if you have that chair, have yourself in that diamond shape. Your legs are extended out a bit. And let's just flow through here, coming forward, exhale. Inhale, hold onto your knees, bring yourself backwards. A couple more times. And one more. I know that's one more than a couple. Sometimes my math is okay. And then we're seated up, nice and straight here. And take in one of your feet closer to you. So that could be on the chair, on the second chair. It could be on your first chair, depending on your flexibility. One knee is open, the other foot is extended out long on that second chair. And this is where, if you have a scarf, a belt, or one of these straps, it would help for you to extend yourself more. Not necessary at all. It's just a tool to help us start to feel what that's like, to really get maybe a little more out of our extension. So If you have it, it's great to use. If not, not needed. We're going to walk our hand down that extended leg. Make sure you guys can see me here. So we're taking a walk down that extended leg to wherever our hands reach. And again, if you don't have that second chair and you're seated, just take one leg out at an angle in front of you. And then begin to take your torso towards that leg. And you're going to feel this in the lower spine, only to the point that feels nice for you, right? Feels good for you. Keeping your back as flat as possible to begin with. And bringing your chest down more and more towards your thigh. Taking the other hand and reaching towards part of your leg or foot. Then let your head go. Trying to reach forehead towards your knee. May or may not get there. The idea here, though, is chin towards chest. Squeezing in on the thyroid. Lengthening the backside of one leg. Opening up the spine. Breathing in this lengthening. Breathing in your depth. One more big, slow, full breath here. Flexed foot. And then slowly pick up your head away from chin, away from chest. Come back to a flat spine here. And then begin to walk up with that flat spine back into that one-legged extension. And then let's switch out. First, taking both legs long. And let's sit here for just a moment in staff pose. So we are pushing down with our sits bones, feet push out, flexing towards us. And let's walk down both legs for just a moment before we go into just one. Holding on wherever that is. Again, a strap can assist, especially when we're working at trying to keep a back flat. That strap will assist to that belt, that scarf, not necessary though. And begin then to let yourself go. Taking chin towards chest and rounding into your spine. Releasing that neck as we did earlier today. Releasing that lower spine as we've done many times in our practice so far today. And then lift the head away, chin away from chest. Back to flat spine, walk yourself up. And let's do the reverse here. So let's bend into the opposite knee, placing the sole of your foot maybe on the inside of your thigh. And again, if you're working with those two chairs, manage those as best as you can. If you have a sofa, you can do this on a sofa or on a bed. That's a nice thing about being in our own space. We can utilize whatever we have around. If you have a long coffee table, anything like that. All right, and then let's go ahead and keep that foot flexed and that extended leg. And let's start to walk down with a flat spine. And again, if you have that belt strap or scarf, keep one available. Our little studios will continue to grow with a variety of things that we're going to make it more homey for us. Have that extension of your back here. And then go ahead and begin that curling in on yourself, chin to chest, forehead to your knee. Squeezing in on the thyroid gland there, stimulating it. Letting your shoulders fall and wrap around. Finding it difficult to breathe, but knowing that you're still taking those deep, full, slow breaths. And then lift your head, looking straight down, and then begin to walk back. Finding yourself with both legs extended again in staff pose. Taking a couple breaths here. And then let's bend our both knees and bring our heels as close to the center part of our body as we can. So we're sitting in a cobbler's pose. So if you have that second chair, just bring it in closer to you. If you're seated on the ground, just use your arms and your hands to bring in those legs, but maintaining that nice long spine still, all right? And I'm utilizing my hands on my ankles, and I'm putting just a gentle weight of my elbows on my inner thighs to help me open up those hips. Remember all that hip opening we did today? So your hips are pretty happy and they're pretty open. They're going to take you through space today, but take some contraction into your arms by squeezing your ankles a bit so that you're really having as much of the connection that you're able to right now with your body nice and long and the spine nice and open, hips, strong arms connecting here. And then releasing our hands. And let's find whatever comfortable seated position you would like to have. Maybe it is Sukhasana, which is right here, this easy pose. Maybe you have a half lotus pose where you have one foot up, where you see the sole of that one foot. And notice which one you've placed on top. It's usually the one that's a little easier or the one that we're used to doing. Same thing if we're seated in Sukhasana, which one comes forward? And let's just sit in that with a long spine for 4 breaths, whichever position you've chosen. And just take those breaths nice and slow and deep and long as we start to come to the conclusion of our practice today, our time together today. And then whichever you're in, Sukhasana, one shin forward and the other behind, or half lotus, one foot up, switch that out so that we can give equal opportunity to both sides of our hips and our legs. And let's take 4 breaths here. 4 or so, it might be 3, it might be 5, because all of our breath rhythms are a little bit distinct here. But keeping a straight spine here. And then releasing. Coming out of that, let's come on to our knees with open knees, toes together. Finding hands at heart center. Or if this is uncomfortable for your knees, please just stay seated. If you're in the chair, same thing, just find yourself with hands in Anjali Mudra. I honor the place in you where the universe dwells. I honor that place in you where there is love, I can feel it. Where there is light, I can see it. And where there is joy, I can feel that as well. Because when you're in that place in you and I am in that place in me, whether you are in your home and I am in my home, we are one, we are connected, we are joined in mind, body, and spirit. Thank you for joining